And welcome guys, I'm Splash, and this is the 2018 God of War opinion. Humble as it may be, still an opinion. So, we've all seen the internet. It's taking everything by storm, getting a lot of great reviews. But is it all that? I don't know. Let's find out. So, Santa Monica Studio, LLC, is an American first-party video game developer and part of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, which is obviously owned by Sony, known for developing the God of War series. God of War is an action-adventure, hack-and-slash, mythology-based game series, originally created by David Jaffe in Sony's Santa Monica Studio, debuting in 2005 on the PlayStation 2 video game console. The series has become a flagship title for the PlayStation brand, consisting of 8 games across multiple platforms. The series' story centers around its playable character, Kratos, a Spartan warrior tricked into killing his wife and daughter by his former master, the Greek god of war, Ares. Kratos kills Ares at the behest of the goddess Athena and takes his place as a new god of war, but is still haunted by the nightmares of his past. Revealed to be a demigod of the son of Zeus, the king of the Olympian gods, who betrays Kratos, the Spartan then seeks revenge against the gods for their machinations, however you pronounce it, which follows a series of attempts to free himself from the influence of the Olympian gods, as well as the Titans, and exact revenge. Many years after taking his revenge against the Greek gods, Kratos ends up in the world of Norse gods, with a son named Atreus, and turns, basically, seems to be a bit of a good guy. Or is he? He was tricked so many times. Athena seemed to be on his side, and double-crossed him right at the end. So instead of living the eternity of his nightmares, he impales himself on his sword and kills himself, or so we believe. All we see is a trickle of blood leading off the Olympian rock to nowhere, until now. He turns up in Midgard, which is quite unusual. In a nutshell, this to me is God of War meets, and I'm going to say it, Dark Souls, Tomb Raider, and also meets The Last of Us. I know you're thinking, what the fuck is Eon stating The Last of Us? Well, The Last of Us in a nutshell is one big escort game and an emotional story. It's the same here, and it works so fucking well. To me, Santa Monica, they've always been great, but what they've hit the ballpark with this one, it's just out into the stratosphere with whatever they've done here. And I do believe that they're well up there with Naughty Dog. I know, I said it. You can quote me, it's fucking Naughty Dog. Awesome, absolutely phenomenal. On to the game. A major change is that Kratos no longer uses his signature double-chained blades as his default weapon. Instead, he uses a magical battle axe called the Leviathan Axe, which can be infused with different elemental abilities and thrown at enemies, which I have to say is fucking awesome. For example, the axe can be engulfed in ice, and Kratos can hurl it at an enemy and magically summon it back to his hand, similar to Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Kratos can also charge the axe and let out a burst of energy that damages nearby enemies. In gameplay, the axe has light and heavy attacks. Heavy attacks allow Kratos to launch enemies into the air. Larger enemies, such as orcs, have precision targets on their body, and throwing the axe at those can actually stun them. The weapon can also be thrown at environmental objects, such as containers, to trigger an explosion. that will damage nearby enemies. The Leviathan Axe can be upgraded. Now the upgrade system for armor and weapons is quite simple, but you just need to know how you're building it, and it's not overly simple for, well, like special people, but it's not too in depth to overcomplicate things. Another new weapon is Kratos utilizes a shield. When not in use, it folds up and appears like armor on Kratos' left forearm. When summoned, the shield can be used offensively and defensively. Kratos also utilizes hand-to-hand combat, which is awesome, and originally a feature which was actually introduced in, I think, God of War Ascension. The game is, they say it's open world, but it's not. Call it kind of semi-open world is a better way of really putting it. Players can encounter optional boss battles. Once the game unlocks properly, you can actually go in different variations. You can do side quests and everything, but it's not an open world as we're used to these days, but it's still done brilliantly. Quick time events have changed from previous games. Enemies display 2 meters above their heads, one for health and the other for stun. Filling up the stun meter helps in defeating more difficult enemies. When the stun meter is full, a grab prompt will appear. Depending on the enemy, Kratos may rip it in half, or he may do different actions. I'm not going to go into details because it's just worth knowing that it is absolutely brilliant for the finishing moves. The ability, there was apparently an ability to swim in the game, but it was removed, and they used the boat to get between different locations. It never gets old. The water is phenomenal. The game features elements similar to role-playing games, such as archery, knowledge points, as well as Spartan Rage, timed ability during battle, similar to Rage abilities of previous installments. Like the previous versions, the Rage ability has a meter that gradually fills during combat. With this ability, Kratos uses powerful bare-handed attacks, as opposed to weapons, to greatly damage enemies. There is also crafting resources for the player to find. These resources allow players to create new armor or upgrade existing armor. Throughout the game world, players can find chests and an item called Hack Silver, which is your kind of currency. Experience points are also required for this for upgrading, so you use XP and you'll use your Hack Silver as well. The game is kind of entirely played by as Kratos, but there are times when the player may choose to passively control Kratos' son Atreus. One button is dedicated to Atreus. It uses depends on the context. For example, if a player needs assistance, they can look at an enemy and press a single button, and Atreus will use his bow to shoot arrows at the enemy. Now, you will get different arrows as you go along. Different arrows do different things, and different skill sets that you can apply to Atreus will do different things, and obviously increase the power of said ability. Which is, it just works so seamlessly. You don't have to worry about Atreus. He'll do his own thing. You use the button to attack certain things. He'll do his abilities. He may get knocked down, which he then becomes what they call unconscious. So he's not in the game. You need to go over to revive him. But he's immortal. He's not going to die. So you don't need to worry about that. It just works so well. It works so seamlessly. Okay. We all know there has been tons upon tons of hype in the game. One great thing that really impressed me about this is the review embargo was lifted a good week before release, which doesn't happen very often these days. Obviously, my review copy got obviously lost in the fucking post, so I will be writing a strongly worded email to Santa Monica Studios if they can hear me or see this. Anyway, I went and bought the game. I was going to do anyway, but you know, fuck 'em. On to the more important things. Splash's all-important opinion. Now remember, it's not review. I'm not going to follow everybody out there. I wanted to play this game because I fucking wanted to. Because I was hyped about it. I saw the original E3 demonstration and then obviously the final one in 2015. I was hooked. I didn't really play the originals that much, but I did play enough of them to know the story in the background. I just thought it was a little bit over frantic for my sort of hack and slash sort of thing. This, completely different. First up, visual graphics. Oh my fucking god. I have no words. People say, oh, it's got great vistas, it's got great this, it's got, you know, everything in this game, apart from one thing, which we'll mention it right at the end, why I gave it not a 10 out of 10, is beautiful. You know, blood, sweat and tears have gone into the visuals, graphics, art direction, everything. You know they've mulled over this for years, which is, you know, it's been 5 years in the production. It's a beautiful game to play, and it really does show how powerful, even this far down the line for the PS4. And you do have slightly different options for the PlayStation 4 Pro as well. Even on the 1080p display, it will run in the 4K, but obviously downsample as well. Well, super sampling, and it works phenomenally. But the clarity and the visuals are just absolutely beautiful, and every frame is a vista to me. Gameplay, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'd rather people experience the gameplay. You've seen there's a bit of a video playing in the background, as you can see, which does show, you know, a few different aspects, and it is on loop. But it's just a phenomenal game. And the combat and the systems and the bosses, phenomenal. I am so impressed with the combat. It's unbelievable. And it feels so good. And nothing gets old. Once you throw your left eye from action, you bring it back. Honestly, you feel like a god when you retrieve it. The feel and the sensation and the vibration for the controller. Awesome. Voice. It did change the actor for Kratos. Can't remember his name. But to me, brilliant job. And his voice may have changed from when he was slightly younger, because he's now an older and more wiser Kratos. So that gravelly, really deep voice works so well. All the other actors, it's kind of something you'd expect from a AAA blockbuster movie. It really is. And there's one in particular scene which I didn't record, is when you meet the stranger. I'll let you play it and you'll see it for yourself. That scene, well, the ongoing scenes through that and the fight as well, is one of the best I've seen in a video game to date. And that doesn't let up. It doesn't like peak you at the start of the game, because it is quite near the start, and down dip from there on. No, it keeps going. It's relentless, but it just gives you a good taste of how much effort they have made into the motion capture, the visuals, the detail on the actual characters is best I've ever seen. And the voice acting, it just keeps me so engaged. Okay, does this game keep me coming back for more? Fuck yeah. As soon as I started playing it, I just couldn't stop. I'm probably about a third of the way through the game. I was intending to do, but I thought, no, I'd get my teeth stuck right into this before I even give a potential opinion.
But they're too round.
So I've got so much to do in this game, but it's more than you think. So yes, it definitely keeps me coming back for more. Okay, finally, Splash's opinion score. I'm going to give it a 9.8. Yes, a 9, but I would have given it a 10, to be honest with you. And is it really worthy of a 10 out of 10? Probably not, really, but I'm biased. It's phenomenal. It's only my opinion, so I don't really care. But I did take a couple of points off, because if you play the game, there's one thing that really let me down.
Slow down, boy.
And you will see,
You are hunting deer.
amongst the foliage and the graphics, you'll see a certain point in the game, a big, massive, like rubber plant leaves, like big, massive green leaves, and you look at them and you think, are they fucking made out of plasticine? Could they not have put a little bit more texture into that just to make it look a little bit more realistic? Because everything else looks fucking amazing, Santa Monica, but that leaf, I wouldn't even wipe my arse with it. It really did piss me off, and I can't even bear to look at it anymore. If it comes up in my field of view or point of view, I turn quickly. You've ruined it for that one leaf. But oh. Anyway, it's a leaf. That's all it is. It's a leaf. I should get over it. I know. Final note. This game will be renamed from God of War to Oh My God of War. This is fucking awesome. I'm Splash. And I'm done.